start recording like a pro. Something like that. So welcome to Plot Points. It's Monday night. It's 9 p.m. and we're here with the Plot Point players. I'm going to have them introduce themselves, starting with Shades McGee at the bottom of your screen. Alex, take it away and then pick your Vic, and the next person will introduce themselves. And tell everybody what you're looking forward to tonight, too.
Howdy, hey, I'm Alex, aka John, aka Barry, and I'm looking forward to seeing whether we're actually all dead or not, because it seems like we're dead. It seems like we're very, very mucho dead. And it seems like we should have definitely rested even though we were dead. And I'm very interested to see if Sean is the least bit lenient on these terrible decisions we've made. Also, these are Bluetooth shades, so I don't need to wear headphones. Yes, I know I look dumb, but also charming at the same time. It's intentional, but
only because it's 9 p.m. at night. You're inside, and you know, there's no sun or anything. Kind of gives a certain vibe.
And I'm from that older generation that remembers the song. I wear my sunglasses at night. So
that song took on a whole different meaning with our generation, at least in the groups I ran with.
Oh, okay.
All right, I'm gonna toss it over to Brock.
Hey everybody, what's going on? Glad to have you all back this week to watch us do some gaming. I'm looking forward as the same as seeing as where we're going with this, because can't speak for everybody else, but I'm pretty low on hit points, so I'm probably going to end up dead in this series as well.
I mean, you already drew the death card. Like, what more can come at you, right?
Hey, as long as we still got a little bit of breath, we'll keep throwing the punches. All right, let's kick it on over to Aria.
Hi, I'm Aria. I'm playing Iunia, the warlock with a cheerful disposition. She's not the most fond of being under the water. It could be a lot of her penchant towards nature in a foresty plant life sense, not like a water plants kind of way. Could also be that I don't like underwater settings. So it's an interesting game for me so far. I'm looking forward to hopefully figuring this out and getting out from the water, because I don't like it. It's good. I'm passing on to Eric.
Woo. Hey guys, Eric. I play the absolutely lovable Claymore. Super excited for today because I don't know. I mean, Claymore just likes beating things up, like slashing, and this seems like kind of one of those kinds of moments. But we'll see what happens, I guess. So let's throw it on to Kitty though.
Drown.
Hi, Kittito here. I will be playing Lysander tonight, the acquirer of other people's treasures. And I'm just looking forward to #surviving.
#surviving. One of the things that I'm looking forward to is hearing from you, our viewers, about what you think of this awesome new overlay. We adjusted it a little bit at popular request so that you could see a little more of our characters. And so now when you look at our individual players, you get to see their characters right with them. You'll know exactly who we're talking about as we go. So give a shout out in the chat. Let us know if you like it, what your thoughts are, and continue to keep those comments, suggestions, and all the good things going as we slip into tonight's game. We left off these players down at the bottom of the ocean, where they had actually managed to kill themselves as they destroyed the very vessel that was pulling out, flooded it, killed everybody on board, were left at the bottom of the ocean. All died except for the Warforged, who, being at the bottom of the ocean, doesn't bother him. It might take him a year or two to walk out of it, but you know what? Hey, he doesn't breathe air, so no problem whatsoever. Unfortunately, everybody else has working lungs and turned out to actually need oxygen. As a result, they died off. But the Warforged ended up talking to, and here's free plot points. Who remembers the name? Starts with an E. Little girl, glowing eyes, giant. None of our players remember.
I just know her by Big Baby.
I know exactly. Yeah.
So disappointed. So disappointed. All right. Well,
she called.
Anyway, so
Dolly?
this giant underwater girl who appears to have been dead, and they walked through the garden of giants, chained to the ocean floor by these massive chains that held their bodies floating up, and she offered to bring the others along to help the Warforged, who was going to retrieve an individual who she could not get out, who had been trapped beneath. So the Warforged agreed yes, gets the others, and she ends up bringing them all back to life. She surrounds them. They can go through the water, breathing it in, and she brings them to a hidden location where they went down, and they felt squeezed by this magical energy as they popped out from the water, passing through this barrier into an ancient staircase and a room where there was old stale air. Once again, now they were breathing, having had the seawater taken from their forms, feeling slightly odd and different now. They entered into the room, met another set of glowing form, this individual covered in a hood with a massive book in front of him, a giant sitting on a throne from ancient times. They verbally challenged this individual, who told them to be quiet, and yet they persisted. And so the centurions, ancient warforged of a different make and time, came forward to block them off. But the party advanced, challenged, got around them, and came on to this individual until they convinced him in conversation to engage them, and convinced him that now was the time. The prophecy was fulfilled, and he who smirks on the screen is the one that really did it. So, Benoit, I'm pointing at you. He was smirking away. He convinced him, some successful rolls, and with that, the individual said, "So be it." And all the runes that they couldn't see before, covering the walls, the floor, and everywhere, began to glow red. And the very floor started to rumble and quake, dust coming down as it rose up. And they realized exactly what the individual said. Caravan is rising. And that was where we left it. So, we're picking up tonight, right in the tension of the moment, players. I'm going to switch over to our little dungeon screen, let our individuals watch as we go there. Boop, boop. I probably should have done this before. Hey, bad style on the DM, but whatever. Is this it? That is it. Alrighty, so let's get our players over there. Grab your plot points if you haven't already. They should actually be on this screen still. Can you guys see the turn order? I actually have it on my screen, but I want to make sure.
Yes, I can.
Okay,
if it
good.
goes 25, 20, 17.2.
Yep. So those are all the ones from last week. No need to roll in. You can see everything in the middle. There are a couple of very large Warforged in comparison to our Warforged. These are the ancient ones I was talking about, the faceless ones. What shall we do? And we'll leave it off at the top of the turn order with Benoit.
Well, I'm waiting to see where we're going with this. Are we going to fight, or are we gonna? Is this guy coming to life? Do we finally succeed? Are we getting back topside? What all are we getting here?
Crap.
Any answers?
I have no idea what we're doing, honestly. I don't know what the plan is. I just know I'm dying.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's about where I'm at. I'm like, I don't want to fight anyone. I know there's a fight about to happen, though.
Okay, so this guy's rising, right?
Can we sing him a lullaby?
Sing him back to
Just
sleep.
put him back to sleep. If only we had a bard in this group.
Benoit's moving out away from everybody, so he can get a better view of kind of what's going on.
Benoit will have to attempt that. As you go to run past, you will be leaving the, you'll actually be passing through three various opportunity attacks, because you were in between the two Warforged that were on the screen, the one to the north there and the one to the south there, as well as the Keeper of the Tome, because you have not discovered who he is yet, so I don't think we did that. Anyway.
Well, I figure he's busy reading that tome and casting these spells, so he's out the way.
Well, if you remember, he closed that book, because you guys were not there. He stood up, he closed his book.
It's a big book, so it took two hands to close it, so.
God bless your soul, thinking so creatively. I love this idea. Okay, so two opportunity attacks from the Warforged that are there at you. Each will use their reaction. And these are my really cruddy dice that are saving the people in my Rise of Tiamat game, so we're going to have to put those away for the night. But neither one hits you, so you're very good to go there. They were nowhere near as quick as this Eliath, who sprints away at full speed.
Also, just to let chat know, we're level 4.
Yes.
Oh.
At the end of last session, I let them all level up to level 4. So
and totally
they don't have
every
hit points.
player did that.
And you know what?
Yeah.
You guys can each have I told them to wait, and we would do the hit points and whatnot. They could do that last. They could roll for it and set their characters, but they have their current hit points. I'm going to give you all one free dice roll on your hit points to add to just, you can call it temporary hit points for the sake of argument.
Okay, just our hit die?
Yeah, just to roll a hit die and add that many temporary hit points to each of you. Since you're already level 4.
Hey!
Don't forget to add your constitution to it.
Hey! It got better for me.
It got worse for me.
Oh.
Lysander isn't known for his really for anything. But,
Erudi is a very hardy woman.
Oops. God, I keep rolling the wrong thing. Bear with
You
me.
forgot the slash, Benoit.
Just click
Got
on
the
the little
slash.
icon on the left.
Hit that.
I want you all to appreciate
I can
that
roll a
level
D8
4
for you if you'd
Lysander's
like.
hit points went from a 15 to a 16.
There you go. I rolled a d8 for you. You got a
Lots
6.
of dice rolling happening. Okay. Love them watching what Artemis, the interaction here. This is great.
Fancy. Trying to in a TPK. We definitely don't want that. Is that sarcastic, Artemis? I feel like that might be. She DM'd me about a TPK earlier today as well.
Oh, does she want to do a TPK for you? Would you like to see one?
she said under no circumstances let Sean TPK. See, she said no. She said no.
Well, as everybody who has ever played at my tables would know, and Alex had played at my table previously, but he wasn't there for it. I always ask my players at my table in advance, and any DM can do this. I always say, do you want to play on easy mode, hard mode, whatnot? And once they choose the mode, that's where we're at, unless they ask to switch it. And
What mode are we on?
Well, this game started in hard mode. They said they didn't want to pull any punches, so you might want to have a chat with your fellow players and say, "Can we switch to easy mode, please?"
No, I like hard
mode,
mode.
brother. Legendary mode.
Don't be a pansy.
Hardcore.
Yep. And I will say, I've got a group that's fighting Tiamat in another game, and God bless, they're actually alive. They left last night's session, and they were like, "I can't believe we're alive." I'm like, "Yeah, I can't either." I'm like, "That's like amazing because I haven't pulled a punch on you yet." It's like,
No.
All right.
Here.
so Benoit, you've sprinted away. You're in this cavern now. Again, the room is actually lit up by all this red light because the runes covering everything cast enough light that you get a sense of the size and the shape of the room. And you, of course, now, and I'll zoom out the map a little bit just to help our players see what I'm describing to you. Boop-de-boop. So you can see the other Warforged at the back. You can ignore these two statues to the north and the south are actually just pedestals that the Warforged were standing upon.
Okay.
Wait.
I'm just trying to take everything in, see what's going on, see if I'm going to be attacked. Where's the best place for me to stand for defense?
Well, being away from other things is the most defensible position. It depends on who's going to come after you.
And that's why I went there.
So, are you going to ready an action to respond with an attack if anybody attacks you?
I'm in defensive mode.
Okay, you're using your action to be full defensive. You
Full
got it,
defense.
buddy. That increases your AC there. So, okay, Barry, you're up.
All right. So I don't speak ancient Draconic, but I speak Draconic, and I'm a great and powerful wizard. So obviously, I'm gonna try and read the runes, whatever I can get from them at all. Is that like just a raw int check, or can I just attempting to read?
Yeah,
Okay.
I like that idea.
Intelligence,
You can make out some of the words. And one of the things that you notice though is that it's even though these are magical runes coming out of the ground, they're not written in the format like a book. These are various bits and phrases talking about disjointed times and visions put together, almost like the ramblings of a madman, but done with this perfect, precise, magical script. So the words that come at you in different bits don't always line up, and it can seem overwhelming and begins to actually hurt your head, because the longer you stare at it, you realize that the rising in the room is not the floor, but almost like the runes are coming out of the floor, giving it an almost three-dimensional feel. I can't even imagine how you draw that as an artist, but with CGI, anything's possible.
Get on it, kitty.
Rude.
All right. What else do you want to do? So you're reading that?
I feel like that would take up a lot of my time. Like 100% of my focus is going into just trying to read these things. I'm like up against the wall, just like just looking around.
Are you looking for anything in specific?
I'm just trying to like soak it in, baby. Just whatever like cool stuff I can add to my magical repertoire, you know. Maybe there's like some buzzwords I can add to my title, you know. Apart from Grand Poobah, maybe it could be like Draconic Scribe, Grand Poobah of the universe, Grand Master Wizard, buried in water.
Excellent. The Warforged, who are not impressed by Barry's titles or his inclination at all, this one is going to sprint after Benoit and make its attack. Benoit, it has come into range. You chose full defensive, which means you don't get an attack. You're going to be on defense, increasing your ability to dodge and whatnot. You're basically just taking the dodge action. And this one's actually going to come over here and try to, Barry's not looking like as much of a threat. He's going to look at the Warforged and come in and holding his spear broadside, try to push the Warforged back into the hallway to make sure that no others come in. Seems pretty clear what he's attempting to do.
Some sort of reverse beeping on that to get out of the way.
Claymore, don't walk over me. All right, Brock.
Just a dainty little woman.
He does his multi-attack on you, Brock. And why do I keep grabbing the same 2 dice? All right, I really need to stop that. Those are my really, really bad rolling dice that I would never use for my own characters, but I like using them as a DM when I'm playing against people because I get really bad rolls, and that's good. All right. Benoit, it swings at you. You miss. You duck. You parry the other one. And now it's right in your face. You can't do anything until your turn, but that's what's happening. The other Warforged, Claymore, I would need you to make a strength and opposed roll against me.
Will do.
There is no way. I'm using that same garbage dice, but we're going to see. Oh, much better roll. I figured it couldn't roll that bad that many times.
Jeez.
And you get a nat 1. Well, guess who's going tumbling backwards? Ionia, make a dexterity save to try and get out of the way before Claymore gets planted on his butt by this oversized.
Oh.
A 0.
Oh, no. I did worse than Claymore.
Man.
But I rolled better than you.
Yeah.
Let the record show I did not botch.
Had he not stepped on your foot, you probably would have had a chance, except you step on his foot and he tries to lift his foot so he doesn't crush you and he's off balance. Next thing, he's literally right on top of you. 300 pounds comes crashing down. I'm not going to give you any damage roll, but you're both prone right now. And
heavy metal. Great music, not so great feeling.
And until you get him off of you, you won't be able to do anything. That'll be the Warforged turn. This Warforged is going to move in on Benoit. Seeing others now.
Performing the initiative.
Benoit, make an opposed grapple check. Wow. Unusual. So, you are so distracted by the one that you're swinging against that this other one comes behind you and happens to hook you right around the waist. You're like moving around, and man, he moves surprisingly quietly as this other one, and you're not sure if they're working in tandem with each other. Lythander, you're up.
Lythander, who had been backing up before, is seeing his friends get taken down, and he's gonna try and sneak by Ionia and Claymore and kind of get around this one Warforged. I'm trying to do the double click thing, but it's not working well, so I'm just gonna move my piece. He's gonna try and get over here without
Perfect. And it's not a double click, it's just click and hold to make a circle appear.
Yep. There we go. That'd be why it wasn't working.
So like when you do that, yep, you just hold it and whoop, it'll give you a big. There you go.
Oh, I move around here.
So great. You try to get over there. Go ahead and make a dexterity check because that's going to be really hard to do to get in between those two. You're trying to shoot through the gap as Claymore falls backwards. But Lathander's pretty dexterous, so. Unfortunately, his foot was. Go ahead.
I want to use Lucky and try one more time.
Absolutely. His foot's sticking out. And you're just about to crash into his leg.
Oh my goodness.
But then you literally roll over his leg, roll up, and get to your feet. You're down on you're in a crouched position. And the Warforged without a face, you can't tell if it noticed you or not because you can't see eyes. But the head seems to have turned a little bit as you did this action. Is there anything else you want to do? That's considered a move action.
Lathander's clinging to the wall. He's not doing anything yet, though.
Claymore. Oh, you just landed on your friend.
Oof.
But she softened your blow. Did you hear this little cry?
Alright.
Yeah, never felt closer to you, buddy.
Ooh. Ooh. You're kind of squishy, actually. This is
Don't pinch me when you get up.
Claymore's gonna try to get to his feet.
Okay, half your movement. No problem.
Sick. Alright. This Warforged is still in front of me, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, let's see. He pushed me, and I'm mad, so I'm gonna push back.
Ooh, running charge. I'll give you +2 on your roll because you're gonna sprint at him.
Sick. What do I use for that?
Shove action. Strength.
Strength. Perfect. Okay.
Ooh, nice. And you got +2 on top of that too.
Sunglasses
So
died.
you go crashing into this thing, and as you do, you slam right in. It's got its spear up as a bar against you. You slam right into it, and you make it take 2 steps back. Not as much as you wanted to, and you realize this thing is like big and solid. So you move it back just a little bit, opening up a path that possibly Lathander could shoot out, or Ionia if she can get to her feet. Anything else you want to do on your turn?
I'd like to, I guess, just swing out my my warhammer, and pretty much get ready.
Okay.
That's it.
Free action to draw your warhammer. You just shove this guy off balance. You pull it out, and on your next turn, if you want, as that bonus action, you can try and charge it up, whatever the heck you want to do. Ionia, or wait, no, Clavton, the individual who has the book closed at his side, who has begun to chant. His hands were up, yelling, now is the time. The rising has begun. Looks and sees what you're doing, and he says, "What is wrong with you people? The rising has begun. It is the time." And dead silence rings through the room. Ionia, what do you want to do? They're all like, "What did we unleash? We know nothing."
Crap.
Maybe we should have found something out first. The beauty of D&D to our viewers.
Well, this is unfortunate. I mean, there's not much that I really... man. Nobody's actually, there's been, some shoving, but there's not been, a weapons kind of attack yet. So, I'm also not really
Make
sure.
a perception roll for me,
Well,
Ionia.
good thing I'm out of spell slots.
You actually know for certain, not only was it not an attack, that, again, you're a combat veteran. Nothing they have done has tried to seriously wound you. It's been all grapple, grabs, blocks.
Okay.
And
So,
only after the one told you to shush and you guys didn't.
okay. I'm not going to draw any sort of, weaponry or anything then. I'm going to put my hands up and kind of suggest, I don't think there needs to be any sort of confrontation here. I think we can handle this peacefully in some way. I'm just going to offer that and not attack. I'm not gonna go
And-
put my nose where it doesn't belong. Either.
And the bookkeeper responds saying, "Peace is what Clapton is bringing. Why do you bring violence?"
We're not bringing violence. No violence, guys.
And Benoit, it's your turn.
Okay, I sit there and I explain to him as this thing has me around the waist. I have not attacked. I have not drawn weapons. I'm just trying to get away from these things. How about you have them stand down? We can go about this peacefully.
Any other action that you're ready other than talk?
I guess go limp and play dead.
Okay. Are you seeking an opportunity to escape? Always give me your intents and I can try and work them out.
I've been trying to get away from these guys ever since I walked into the room.
Well, I understand that. But I'm saying, like, now that one has you, is that still your intent? You just mentioned play dead, so I'm not sure. That's why I'm asking.
No, I'm just going to play dead and just sit there.
Okay. Make a persuasion roll. Let's see if Clapton will answer your question.
Oh, where's that? Here. There we go.
Okay. As you do start playing limp and dead, the one carries you back towards the front. The other Warforged moving out of the way, and Clapton, as it's carrying you forward, says, "Do not resist, and you shall not be harmed. What must happen must be." And with that, the one Warforged who still has you in its arms appears to be waiting, and the other Warforged, I really kind of went out of turn, so I'm just going to kind of pause, and then I'll finish up their turn a little bit. Barry, you're up. What do you want to be doing? You see the Warforged moving about and whatnot.
So I'll say, very simple. And what exactly must happen? And now I'm looking for, but while still looking at, like, he's not even facing the bookkeeper. He's still looking at the walls. He's looking all around, and he's trying to hunt down. And now, like, his focus has shifted. I'm trying to hunt down anything that could give me any idea about what's about to happen, what's going to happen.
Give me a D100 roll.
All right.
Let's see how well you roll on this. You have a possibility to get up to 3 items that I can tell you about.
11.
Awesome. You're like, he's talking about things happening, and the runes as they're moving up appear to be the only thing happening, and you see this rising again, this releasing again, and because the runes are shifting up, it's clouding your vision. But one word popped out, one word that you know, and you saw it repeated a couple of times, was demons.
What?
So.
What?
You're like, but you can't tell. You're like, why am I seeing that in different places? Now,
demons?
You have make a history check for me.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Go.
Nice.
Oh gosh.
Underwater. Perfect place to draw hair.
History. Come on, baby. +1.
Oh my god. You are certain that the myths of demons, that you've read about them, and they're the myths of those who used to live in the northern lands of aggression. So you're like, dude, that's fantasy. And now you're beginning to truly understand, because of your natural historical understanding, that, you know, half of what's here is BS, and probably this whole rising thing is nothing but a light show. Somebody pretending to know magic.
God. I hate these die. Artemis, want to toss me that inspiration?
Can't use it after the fact.
God,
In advance.
That's true. God.
Okay. What else do you want to do? I'm sorry. It was such a bad roll. I was prepared to give you like the keys to the kingdom.
I'm not allowed to burn plot points, am I?
You can, but you have to do it before I give you the results.
Yeah, before. Yeah.
I mean, you can burn them anytime up till the results come.
Yeah.
Hey, Lythander,
there's always an extra.
How is Lythander muted? Lythander, stop muting yourself.
How is that being decided?
There you go.
I had to sneeze, so I muted myself, and then I couldn't unmute myself.
Well, let me double check. That might be a setting from my end. I know there's a setting for it, so I'm just gonna double check that it's not set up wrong.
So you guys know how I freaked out? Well, Barry didn't do that. Barry was just like, psh, and then leans against the wall, crosses his arms, and just like is looking around, just like, is this over yet?
There you go. Allow participants to unmute themselves. Perfect. Sorry about that. All right. So then we'll be done with Barry, and we'll finish up the Warforged. While Barry's looking, this Warforged is going to focus on Claymore. Claymore, now that you've made a shove attack, it's going to make a sweep attack and try and take you off your feet. Let's see if it does it. Oh, 24. I'm pretty sure that's a hit, buddy. Make a dex roll for me. It's not a damaging attack. It's trying to take you off your feet. Dude, he knocks you, and you end up going off balance, but you don't lose your footing. He leg sweeps you, and you rise your foot as he sweeps through, and you slam your foot back down, and the faceless head just turns to look at you, looks down, and then jabs at you with the spear again. I rolled 217, so the 24 hits here as well. Okay. And this one's a shove attack straight backwards. Go ahead and make a strength roll against it.
Do it.
You just basically... I was going to have him shuffleboard you, but you kept your feet. Dude, so almost like what you did to him, he shoves against you, but you only move a couple feet where you bounce into Ionia, who's just gotten to her feet. Lythander, you realize it's giving you a little opportunity to skate away from this individual. There's a couple other doors in the room that you might want to take part of, as well as a platform. And you see there's really nobody on the north. Again, what looks like a statue on this map here is actually just a pedestal. So,
Lythander then is gonna head over this way.
You get over there, and the door is actually open about 3 to 4 inches. It just looks like it's not closed.
Peeking.
And as you peek around the edge, you see that the... Whoops, can I pan the map here? Pan view. Woo. You see that there's a staircase leading down into the darkness. In the room, this room as well, runes covering the floor, so there's light. And you notice something. There appears to be armor or weapons or something like that on the floor. You know, amidst all this glowing red, things that kind of stand out, you know, body shapes. There you go, body shapes, like, you know, armor and stuff.
Like coffins.
No, body shapes. I didn't say coffin shapes. Their coffin shape would be different.
Oh.
Body shapes.
Fun.
You're looking too high. See, you're spying the map. Yes.
Fun.
Yeah,
okay. Well, that's all Lythander's gonna do for now. He's just scoping out his prey.
Okay. Claymore. Ah, you have successfully held off his push.
This Claymore at least noticed that these are all kind of like, they're not trying to hurt us.
Oh, you can if you want. Yeah, absolutely. Now, I mean, you're armed.
Yeah, Claymore obviously straight up seeing the attacks. He's like, this guy could have obviously tried to like kill me by now. So at this very moment, I think Claymore is going to take a straight defensive stance, right? Accept that like this is what it is, and something that's protecting us from going in more. Mm-hmm. So yeah, straight up defensive stance. And Claymore wants to ask Clapton, what kind of peace are you talking about? Because I've seen guys who want peace, but they have their ways of achieving.
And you hear the voice say, the peace of Clapton will echo over the entire land, protecting all from the demonic horde that would destroy us.
Seems like genocide.
Is Barry able to interject with just a psh?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay.
I like little one-liners and when we keep it quick because we're all can be doing something. Is there anything else you want to do? Try to shove back? You're backed right up against poor Ionia.
At this point, nope. Just taking the defensive stance and maybe trying to protect Ionia a little bit, knowing that Ionia is kind of on the edge along with everybody else.
That was so much nicer than the one time you were in a bar, Ionia, and you saw a Warforged try twerking, so that was very nice of him.
So much nicer than a Warforged attempting to twerk. That was interesting.
He definitely has class.
Less rhythm.
There we go, then let's Claymore, so that would put us on to the one that you were calling Clapton. But you might start by some of the way he talks, start to realize this might not be the Clapton you think. You know, a few times he's referred to Clapton. I mean, maybe he just talks about himself in the third person. Maybe he's a king. That could be. He could be royalty. Now we're 2 rounds in. The red runes have actually rised up to about 1.5 feet off the ground, and now they begin to start to swirl in the air around him. The walls have begun vibrating. The other doors in the room all start to vibrate and open up slightly. 3, 4, 6 inches. Lythander can actually see the various armor and other things floating, almost coming off the ground in the other room. In this room, the Warforged don't seem terribly affected by it, though everyone is having some difficulty with the vibrations affecting the way you stand. Clapton begins to chant, and you realize it's in Draconic. Barry, you can understand some of the words, and it's that rising, and you begin to understand that some of the words that he's saying is actually a petition. A petition to ban the demons, a petition to remove them, a petition to protect the land.
I have a feeling...
Barry, what languages do you know?
Let me pull it up. Just hold myself accountable. I know Common, Draconic, and Elvish.
You hear it in Draconic. Benoit, you can hear him chanting in Perfect Giant. Lythander, what languages do you know?
Common and Gnomish.
What's your preferred one?
Common.
Common. And you hear him chanting in the common tongue. In fact, Ionia and Claymore too, each of you in your preferred tongue, Barry for the moment was so focused on the Draconic prophecy that he heard it in Draconic. And each of you is hearing them just speaking your normal tongue, not realizing that anybody's hearing differently than you.
Is this a repetitive thing he's saying over and over? Or is it different each time?
I gave you 3 of the verses already, and we'll have to see about the next round whether it changes. But each round's about 6 seconds long, so you haven't got the same thing over and over. He's definitely said some different things, but the chant is very rhythmic. So kind of like maybe monks, if you would consider it that way. For our viewers to be able to see what he fully looks like. Ooh, then we take him back off street again. Ooh, goodbye. Alright. That was Clapton. Ionia, you're up. Do something amazing.
There's not much amazing that Ionia is particularly drawn to in this scenario right now. It's not a kind of magic that she's familiar with, I assume. Like, she's never heard anything seen anything even remotely like these runes anywhere. Okay.
Oh, are you asking if you've seen runes like this anywhere?
Yeah, last time I had a general idea, but you said I spoke too fast and I didn't give you a chance to answer, so I was trying to let you interject.
And your pause was great because that was it. I thought you were saying that you have never seen runes like this. I didn't realize you were asking, have you ever seen runes? So perfect. If you have ever seen Draconic runes, then you've seen runes like this before. Have you ever seen anything red and glowing before like this in runes? Probably not. This is really ancient, and nothing in your history that you and I have designed together would have exposed you to this.
So Ionia's kind of mostly mesmerized. She'll try to peek out around Claymore to see if there's anything in the room that really catches her eye. But as far as she's concerned, like, we're kind of trying not to fight. So I I don't, nobody I should be fighting to jump in and help with, and I don't understand the magic that's going on, so there's nothing I can really add to a conversation. I'm just kind of here to feel out my group and see, you know, if something's gonna happen, if there's anything that I should be jumping in with.
Okay. One of the things that you do notice is that, again, the red runes, which were everywhere, include the hallway you're in, but you notice at the top of the stairs, if you remember, you fell through the ceiling there. The runes seem to stop in that area. They don't go out that area all the way up to the ceiling, almost like they were more central in this area here, where you're at.
Okay.
Benoit. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Ionia.
I was just going to say, the room doesn't seem to be changing at all or anything other than these runes floating around.
Correct. The floor is vibrating, the runes are slowly rising up, and the runes have begun to spin in a circular fashion around the individual that you've called Clavton. And you can see some of that, even though there's a massive Warforged in the way, and your buddy in the way, and you know, you haven't come out from behind him, so, you know, I'm going to guess that you're peeking around him.
Peeking out around him.
Yeah. Alright, Benoit.
Has he still got a hold of me?
He does.
Okay, I'm just going to continue to play dead, and hopefully he'll just think I'm dead, and he'll drop me to the ground and go on.
What is your, I'm going to let you hold your action until that happens, and then you can decide, since you have made your intent to act only at that point, I'll let you do something a little different, and just, you can do whatever you want at that point. Barry.
So, to Barry, this is a show. Because this is what Barry does. He makes this big, grandiose thing for something that he thinks isn't actually important at all, but wants other people to think is important. That's like his whole shtick. And this is all just one big show to him. But normally Barry has, especially when he's been working with Lythander, his show has some motivations behind it. And so, even if the demons are chumps, like not even like real, Barry's gonna look over to Claymore and say, guys, I don't think the kind of demons he's talking about are the kind of demons that this could be bad. And just starts swatting away at the runes floating around him, and is just looking around, and as he looks around, he says, wait a minute, where's Lythander? And it just like, and all of his concentration is now just going on, just like looking around, trying to figure out where his friend is, because he feels like something really bad is about to happen, and is actually gonna start moving forward, like trying to look for Lythander, which I know is gonna proc so many things.
Make a perception roll? Oh, actually, you don't even need to, because with the room as lit up as it is, and the fact that you've been reading the runes, you actually see Lythander over there, and you never actually leave the range to trigger an opportunity attack. You end up moving near Clavton on the other side of the Warforged there, so you haven't triggered any opportunity attacks. You just kind of duck in and out. Okay. And the Warforged to your left actually seems more focused on Claymore anyway, as he's trying to get a shoving match. So,
sweet. And the reason he's like hunting down Lythander is because he knows like Lythander is the most anti-magic BS person there is. And so if anybody can figure out what's actually going on here, it's Lythander.
Well, you're able to pick something up for free, no perception roll needed. You just have moved through these red rooms, felt nothing, and they literally seem to fly at you and kind of disappear as they hit you and then reappear on the other side, almost like an illusionary light show. And the ones that were up around Lythander have now moved from where he is, because again, they're starting to spin. Can you guys see my, I think you can see, yeah, because I have a capture on, so you can see my mouth.
Man, if I had dispel magic.
And it's spinning all around this guy, so Lythander is almost free of the runes now. And what you're noticing, though, is other runes are coming out from the door that Lythander has partially opened. And they're coming around him and then joining the others, surrounding like a wall as the wall is getting denser and denser in red. And again, you're standing in the middle of this spiral around him, this tornado of runes.
Man, that's such a good image.
Thank you. And the Warforged carries Benoit over here, drops him on the ground. This Warforged is going to make a shove attack. Ione is still right behind you, Claymore, so sorry. Make a shove attack. And we're going to see what happens. Really gotta stop taking off my glasses.
I also just realized I'm splitting the party. Oops.
Never. We splitting the party's fun. Is that a 16 I see there, buddy?
No, that's a
That was a
pass.
good roll.
Oh,
Yeah, that was
okay.
there we go.
21.
21. Dude. Literally, you feel yourself getting pushed against Ione as she's about to go down again, and summoning up all your energy, you just shove back and you become a wall against this larger Warforged who's using his spear against you. You have won the shoving match and you were able to hold your ground.
Claymore would like to just make an audible
At me.
dominance. Just
And this one comes over while
Take
you're
a note from
peeking out.
Ionia's book. Punch him in the snout.
what's his snout?
One up.
There.
Warforged number 3 comes over and tries to grab Barry from behind. Barry, you are so focused on Lythander, I'm going to give you disadvantage on the strength roll to kind of get away from him. But he rolled really
Okay.
bad, so let's see what you get. Never know, you might get...
Does it have to be strength? Because I know with some grappling checks it can be dex to get out of it. To avoid
I'll allow you dex on this one.
Okay.
Yeah, I probably should
my dex would be the same as my acrobatics, so I'll just roll that.
Okay. With your dex, actually, as he goes to grab you, you like throw up your arms and you slip right down in between him, knocking your hat off your head for just a moment, which falls down between him. And almost like an Indiana Jones, you just grab it with the back of your hand, and you're able to get a free 5-foot movement forward towards Lythander as you slip out.
Beautiful. Thank you.
You're welcome. And that'll take care of the 3 Warforged that are in the room. And Clapton, on the other hand, now... I told you about the throne that he was sitting on, and I'll show it to you there. I have a statue in his place. But he actually stands up on top of the seat that he was sitting on before, and for the first time you realize as he does so, the seat has no back. It's a flat pedestal, similar to what the 3 Warforged positions were standing on. It is a raised dais. He was just sitting so erect that what you had taken to be the back of a chair, and you can see it in his token, is actually part of his outfit. There's a mechanical cog and some sort of spear-like weapons on his back that are part of him, you realize. And again, don't forget his face is glowing blue. You can't see his face at all. And he now stands up. The book, which he had closed at his side, and he's been chanting this about, petitioning for them to drive the demons to ban the land. And he says, "And now I read the names of the chosen ones. For you, O Clapton." And he starts reading off names. These names do not sound like anything else other than giant names. So to Benoit, they'll sound that familiar giantish, but if you're not familiar with giant, they'll sound very alien to you. And he starts writing them off, one after the other, and starts flipping pages as he does so. And that'll be Ionia's turn. You're still pressed right up against the Warforged back.
I want to try and just take a couple of steps back just to... Actually, no. I'm gonna... Because I've got nothing better doing. This guy seems to keep wanting to shove Claymore, so I'm just gonna brace myself and try to help Claymore if he tries to get shoved again, to push forward and try to get this guy shoved away. Maybe.
Outstanding. Claymore, you'll have advantage on any rolls to avoid a push backwards, but you'll also gain, because she's throwing her weight in with you, whatever her strength bonus is, if she has one, to give you on a shove attack.
+2.
Nice.
There you go. Yeah, I guess all I had to do was really just look at the screen in front of me, because I can see all your stats the same as our viewers. So, alright. Ionia is now doing the help action. Benoit, what are you doing? If you flop to the floor, your friends don't seem to care as you flop down
As
at their
he
feet.
drops me to the floor, I look to see if there's any way I can maneuver and shoot between his legs or any opening.
I love it. As an Elliot, you're really large, but these are oversized Warforged. And totally catching him by surprise, you can try this. Go ahead and make a dex roll, because while you were playing dead, you were prepared. And I will give this on your last turn, so you'll be able to take 2 actions in a row. Because remember I said I would hold your action, so go ahead and make a dex roll. Let's see if you can squeeze through.
Okay, just straight dex?
Acrobatics, actually.
Okay.
Would be a much better thing.
I wasn't sure.
Wow! Insanely good roll. Dude, he drops you down, and you do this monk-like roll right back into him, bouncing and squeezing between his legs. And the Warforged actually moves his legs around, trying to figure out what the heck you're doing as you drop, and you end up on the other side of him on your turn. What did you want to do for your action? Because that's technically
I'm trying to get over and into one of these side rooms.
Okay, so you can, your movement wouldn't be very much, but we'll hold off on any action. We'll call it a dodge action. And then you have this turn's action, because that was last turn, you held 1. And that gives you free movement. I'm moving your token down. This door is already open, and as soon as you open it, you literally open it from the crack, and a flood of red runes passes right through your chest. And as they do, I need you to make a con save for me, please. You make a 12 roll. Okay, so it was only a 10. You're fine there. And let's find out how many of the runes actually pass through you as this happens. 8 on a D8. Nice. Well done. 8 of the runes pass through you. You may roll 8 hit dice for me, please.
Okay.
I mean, I can do it if you want, but I know players have much more fun. What's your hit dice as an Elliot? Is it a D10 or a D8 or?
My hit dice is a D8.
Okay, so roll 8d8 for me.
Okay. I think I got this.
So I see a 4. How many hit points? Hit points are you at right now, and what's your max?
12, and my max is 25.
So you need 13, right? So 4 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 7, plus 4 is
Totals right below it.
11, and then the 7 will actually trigger it, because that would put you at 18. So as these pass through you, energy comes into you. You are charged back up to full hit points, and that 7 rolls over to give you 5 temp hit points. Now, temp hit points are not additive. So if you had more temp hit points already, just go with the number you have. If you had less, oh, when you came in, I said earlier everybody got some coming into the room. So fine, you have 5 temp hit points.
I'm sorry, I added those to my regular.
Not a problem, because it would have gotten there anyway. So you have 5 temp hit points.
Okay.
So you're literally energized fully as this passes through you. And you see this, what looks like a swirling pit of water and red energy. And make a perception roll for me.
Okay.
You realize the red energy that these runes have come out of is not runes in itself. It is symbols, like geometry symbols, triangles. It's almost like what you would see inside of a wizard's place. In fact, let me reference that again. You actually know much of what this is, because you've seen it with the elves that you are around. These are necromantic runes. You have seen things like this. You've seen the elves use similar things. Different, of course, but similar enough that you're like, everything about this is about raising the dead. This pool. All right.
I should probably holler that out to the other people in the room to let them know. Hey guys, Deadpool over here.
You can have a plot point for that. In fact, everybody gets 2 plot points on top of that, because everybody's doing so well tonight, just having fun, making laughter. And I take it Artemis has not given out the inspiration yet.
It's not.
let me know if anything fun happens in chat so that I can point it out. I see something about that's besides the point, but I don't have time to read the chat. So Barry, you are up as you hear his voice yell from the other side of the Warforged. You can't see him, but
okay. So hearing that was the last thing Barry needed to hear. All right. So, am I gonna proc an opportunity attack from? He's pretty preoccupied with whatever he's doing right now, right?
Right.
So, I'm gonna run over to this corner next to Lythander, and if it's a spell, and he's, you know, it's very much so he's calling out these things. It's very focused. It's like a, yeah, time out.
make a grapple check for me because it does provoke an opportunity attack from the Warforged that was behind you.
Okay.
The one that you slipped out from, he gets his free attack on you. Caravat does not attack you.
8.
Yeah, so you don't make it over there because
Okay.
he gets you by the back of the collar and just holds on to you, and you're running like it looks like a Scooby-Doo episode as
Okay.
he just has you by the back of the
Do
collar.
I still get my action?
Yes, yeah, it's just
Okay.
you are grappled.
Okay,
All grapple
then-
does is take away your movement.
All right. Yeah. Then centered on this point here where my roller's coming from. So, I'm going to cast Silence.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, snap. I gotta look at my notes.
I knew that would be a curveball. I knew that would be a curveball.
That is a curveball, actually. I have to look at my notes on him.
Ruin his spell.
I love it. I
Ruin his
love
day
players
by
that do that.
ruining his spell.
I take silence on almost every character for the sole
And
purpose
as you
of ruining
do,
Caster's day.
Your own voice, because again, you're within the range too.
Mm-hmm.
But dead silence in your ears. You know, and all of you can hear the spell casting has stopped. Firebending is off for the moment. Spell casting has stopped. Now, so saying the runes are still floating around, spinning. Yeah. Ooh, well done. Yeah. And as you do, the head of this this large cloaked giant looks around. You know, and his hand had been moving over the book, and he stops, looks around, and I'm gonna give him a chance to focus on you because you're there, you know, running, and you cast your spell.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
And he actually closes the book, steps down off of this,
I think I did it bad.
and moves towards Lythander.
No.
And just as he gets up to Lythander, this massive giant taking these steps towards you, Lythander,
Hi.
you hear this.
Okay.
Lythander's like,
He just want- he
The
just
door
wants
is-
a hug.
Crack in his voice. Hey.
take a plot point for that. And the Caravat's voice suddenly comes into focus again. And he says, and all of you hear this again in your own key language. And he says, I have told you all to be silent and not to interrupt. My minions, destroy them. And now it's real combat.
Ooh.
Listen, this is all
Wait,
bad
can he
vibes.
say
We had
any
to
of
stop
that?
it.
Can he
Now wait a
say
second. They can't hear him say this, right?
Yeah.
He
Oh,
moved
yeah, 'cause
outside.
we-
What he did was he moved outside of the radius, which is why I said
Oh.
the voice suddenly started. Yeah, he actually
Okay.
moved
Okay,
away.
so sound can go in, it just can't come out.
No, you had a 20-foot radius. You said
Mhm.
correct, and you cast.
Yeah,
it.
I'm saying sound from outside of that radius can like go into that. Right?
Well, it's silent. You wouldn't
Okay,
hear if
yeah.
you're inside the radius. You won't hear sound from outside. Like you,
Okay, sweet.
Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, technically you wouldn't hear anything. You're right, Barry, because you'd still be within the radius of your spell. Because
So Lythander hears this.
but yeah,
Oni
'Cause-
and Claymore hear it too.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah,
probably Benoit, who's over there somewhere.
Really, it's mostly just me and this other Warforged that don't hear it.
Correct.
That's directly below me.
The one that is holding you. So hey, that might be a good thing.
yeah. He won't try and murder me. Just this guy will.
Yeah. So hey, bonus. I like that. Take 2 plot points for that. That's fun. And that'll be now Clapton has given his command, and he begins to chant his own spell, which Barry, you don't know what it is because you can't hear him.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if it. Oh, never mind. Yeah. And as he does, Barry, your ears open up and you hear him just finish a spell and you realize that your silence spell has been dispelled. So that's where he had to burn his action.
Okay.
So if nothing else, denying the enemy an action is a good thing. Ionia.
I've now heard him say something about destroying us, so guys, I'm not prepared for combat. I have no spell slots left. I'm just a little warlock.
Get a little bit of that rune stuff, you know?
I'm just a little warlock, and I feel like fighting under the water with like a lot of weapons is gonna not work too well. At the very least, I have a pike, so like that's kind of a stabbing motion. I don't have to like slash or try to like cut through water, risk too much water resistance. But you're in the way. Claymore. Okay, so I'm gonna try to like sneak an arm around Claymore to cast Frostbite at the Warforged, hopefully aiming for like some sort of like armpity joint or something where like if I try to like freeze all the water that's in there, I can cause this block of ice to prevent movement, hopefully.
Make a perception roll for me here. I'm just double checking something because I gave you guys a heads up before.
Oh no.
Okay. And who are you trying to freeze the water in?
This guy right here.
Okay. Go for it. Hey, here's. One thing you do notice with your perception roll is that the vibrations in the ground, which were incredibly rough, have almost smoothed into a rhythm now. The place is still vibrating, but it's no longer like shaking. Now it's just like a steady thrum.
Is that music good?
Yeah.
Inspiration time. Wait, inspiration time. Was that for my perception check, or was that just saying it in general?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I should give it a couple seconds because of the delay.
Yeah, I don't know if Artemis is giving it to you or if she's doing something else.
Idea. But my
Wolf's dead. Very interesting choice. I like it.
But for Frostbite, they get to make a Constitution save against the damage. But I think the frosty effect happens either way. I don't know if I should roll something different to see if I can form a block of ice, but.
Well, you are trying to freeze the water in them, but you are actually casting your spell. So you would cast your spell as normal.
Yes.
For frost, but you're hoping for a bonus thing.
So, but I don't roll an attack. They roll a Constitution save.
Ah, thank you. So really, there's nothing there for. See, I actually switched the screens just to kind of give our viewers something different to look at. It fails, so. What is it? 4 damage?
4 damage, yeah.
Okay, so I can write that down.
Put everything with frost, trying to freeze it.
All right, buddy.
Okay. Anything else on your turn as you start to, as the frost rolls up it, rushing up its sleeve, up its arm, and the joints in it freeze up a little bit. And again, you have this idea very different than your friend the Warforged. These seem to be a mixture of both mechanical, as you saw previously, the round one, and the living Warforged that is your friend. So they're a combination there. Anything else on your turn? Other than that attack? One thing you realize, your hope fell through. Almost like there's no water in these things.
While there's a pause and talk, Goddess Artem.
Yeah, I was just responding. I was actually going to say I have an open spot for inspiration right now, so since we can pass inspiration between players anyway, like I can just stick to inspiration, and like the first person who wants to use inspiration in the group for an important role, we can just pass it off to them.
Are you asking? You're asking me. You're saying you already have inspiration, and she gave you inspiration.
No, I'm saying I'm not asking you anything. I'm offering a suggestion to the group. Goddess Artemis, since she has 2 inspiration to give, was wondering if she can just give 1 to us as a group in general, that we can decide, hey, somebody wants to use it and stuff.
Absolutely, Artemis. Yes. So Artemis has put a inspiration in the bank for all of you. And I'm going to have to come up with a token that I can put on the main screen and just turn it on sometimes and say, like, inspiration pool. When somebody like Artemis does it, we're going to call it the Artemis inspiration pool when I remember that. That'll be a permanent thing. For whenever she wants to add that. Alright, so that is there for you guys. Someone doesn't know how to whisper in Roll20. You know what? I'm gonna, here you go. Let everybody read what you're writing. Our viewers deserve to read this when our players chat. Wrong thing.
For context, I whispered to Lythander, this was either a terrible or an amazing idea.
If only I knew how to whisper. All the pictures Barry leans over. Was this a bad idea or an amazing idea? Lythander, this was an amazing bad idea.
All right. Well, I think that was whose turn. I kind of moved my token away. Who just went?
It is Benoit's turn, I believe now, right?
Yeah,
my turn just finished.
Ionia just finished. Benoit, yes. So thank you to Ionia and Barry each get a plot point for that. Helping out, making it fun for everybody else. Claymore, you have been so patient and so quiet. You don't want to like add anything in? I mean, I know you're waiting for your turns. You guys are.
Claymore has heard the words kill or exterminate or whatever. So at this moment, he is just ready to start killing people. He's not really much into talking. So he's just kind of waiting for his turn.
Man,
It's all right. All right. So Benoit, you're up, sir.
Okay, so have any of the Warforged come my direction?
No, not yet.
Okay.
In fact, the one that you see below Barry, his back is totally to you. In fact, all of their backs are to you now that I think about it. Because the one that you just stepped through over here was still puzzled as you ran away.
Am I able to perceive of anything useful that I can use to destroy these things? With my knowledge of this blood pool down here, dead pool, whatever, if I throw them in something like that, are they going to die or?
I can't make an intelligence roll. If you roll high enough, I'll think of something, but I'm like, I can't even think as a player. And of course, now you freaking roll a 20 after I say that. Yeah.
Think of
Something with runes.
You know what? They are mechanical creatures. And at the end of the day, that looks like a pool. If you could drag one there, or as a professional grappler, frog walk one there, because you don't lose distance when you grapple something. If you grapple it and you move it, you could put that sucker and drop it into a pool. You've done that. You know that trick. Let gravity do the rest.
What I want to do, since obviously he knows I ducked under his legs, is I would like to shoot into the room and duck behind the corner right here. And I'm going to wait for one of them to come into the room. And then what I want to do is take my pole, slide it between their legs, and twist, causing them to trip over my staff and fall into the pool.
Okay, how are you luring them into the room? Because as you asked, their backs are to you.
Well, I figured when I went through his legs, he was going to know that I was taking off and he was going to come after me.
Okay. You want to help that along in any way?
But yeah, I can say, haha, sucker, I'm over here.
You want to throw anything at him before you run in the room?
Is there anything on the ground?
You know what? Yeah, there's probably a little pebble or something you can grab because I talked about the whole place shaking, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to grab a handful of pebbles and chuck them towards the front two
Okay. You don't, because it's a handful, because you were beautifully descriptive like that, you don't even have to make an attack roll. Some of those little BB-sized pebbles and whatnot are going to smack them all, and sure enough, it turns as you then run into the room away. Barry, and you have a ready to action, which you've already described for your attack. Barry, you are up.
So this is bad, because at least one that wants to murder me is right next to me. But what's worse is that Barry just got into a magic battle. And I have 2 more spell slots left. So, allowing myself to stay grappled, I'm gonna do it again. Send it on the dude.
Oh, you casting this. Nice.
Casting silence one more again.
And Lythander, you're silent. The world has just gone silent.
Lythander's gone deaf from fear.
The world is listening.
Oh my goodness. Ignore Lythander. Ignore Lythander.
Lythander was scared away.
Lythander teleports.
Plot
this
point.
is Lythander's plan B for any situation is just gone.
For clarity, myself and these 2 Warforged right here are also in the silence.
Okay, great.
Lythander wants to go in here. Maybe he can find some sort of lever or something to help the group.
Maybe you can find a reason for
Lythander,
why
as you
he's
go into
suddenly
the
deaf.
room, you realize that the bodies on the floor, you've seen this before.
I've seen coffins.
I haven't described any coffins. Stop trying to look at the map and then tell me what you see. Listen to the DM. You see bodies all over the floor, and you recognize these bodies because you saw them previously on an island. Dwarves. Dead dwarves.
Oh, fun!
And these dwarves, which were, like I said, previously levitating up by the runes, you see now are getting to their feet. They're being rotated around to their feet, and some at the far edges are starting to walk out of alcoves along the wall.
Ah, what an elegant source of illusions and not anything real life. Okay. Then Lythander, they're all along the walls, so it's not like you can sneak against the wall and hope that they don't notice you. Does it look like just a dead-ended room?
Because the room is lit by the red runes, yes, you can see the dimensions of the room, and from what you can see, yes, it does appear to be a dead-end room. I also want to give you 3 plot points, because I just realized I made a goof in the description, and you probably caught on to it when I was talking about you having seen these before. So, 3 plot points to you, buddy.
Also, our viewers have said that they cannot see the map throughout all
Oh!
this.
Which viewer said that? They get inspiration.
Artemis.
Artemis again.
Artemis, man, you are like, she's an,
Artemis the
he or she
perceptive.
is an inspiration hound.
Is there anyone that does not currently have inspiration?
Yeah.
I do not
Lythander
currently
doesn't
have inspiration.
I definitely don't have inspiration.
I burned through both of mine like 1 session
Yeah.
ago.
I used mine last session.
If you guys remind me afterwards, I'll try and find like tokens that I can put on the map that show if you have inspiration, so that when I hear you use it, I'll turn it off, and then our viewers will know at a glance when you have inspiration. That would be kind of
Well,
a cool thing.
we can also just edit our tokens. So like, boom, I have a lightning bolt on me. That could be like inspiration.
Yeah, if you guys want to do that, it's better than me having to do something. So I don't know how well it's going to show up on the zoomed out
vortex.
map.
I just want to share this before I continue going because I'm afraid of what I will do to it as I continue with a Sharpie.
Nice.
Sharpies are so unforgiving.
Ooh.
Wow.
That's awesome.
3 plot points for Ionia's picture. There you go. And I think Kitty was actually doing some pictures earlier too, so I probably owe you a couple plot points there. And Eric, for not attacking with your weapon when you wanted to, that's a plot point. For Benoit, for your freaking awesome monkeyness, being a huge monkey, an 8-foot tall monkey, rolling through Goliath legs, you can have a couple plot points. And Barry, I love your hat. I love your running. I love your Scooby-Doo trying to run away and get into a wizard battle as our players find out more about you. So I'm just going to let you can roll a D4. You can have that many plot points.
Ooh. 3.
3 plot points it is.
How fast are these dwarves moving?
Bing. They don't appear to be moving at you, and they appear to be moving incredibly slow.
Awesome.
Like, you should be able to move in between them, no problems, you figure.
Yeah, Lysander's gonna just kind of move more into this room. Because he can't go back out the way he came because the big, giant, jerky face is there.
This is a official title.
It is an official title. Given by Lysander, they should count themselves lucky.
Jerky face.
No, big jerky face. Because he looks like beef jerky.
Is it a beef jerky? I like it. Plot point.
Okay. And I don't think Lysander... Well, unless he runs. Yeah, Lysander's gonna... Stop!
Oh my god. That is not me. That is the player messing with their token.
Yes.
Artemis would like to add her remaining 2 inspiration to the bank for the party.
Lysander
She trusts us to assign them ourselves.
There are 3 inspiration in the bank.
Come on, let it be fair. Give Sean 1 inspiration for him to use on one of his rolls.
No.
Benoit has inspiration, so I don't need any.
Lysander's coming out the other end. Because he didn't see any door.
Everybody's probably wondering what the heck is happening on the stream, but there you go. Artemis 3 inspiration. That's the Artemis inspiration pool.
I'm very much so looking forward to seeing this pop up on stream now.
It's there. Well, I just did nothing other than something super
I see.
simple.
Art equals 3.
And let's go over the main. That's not what I wanted.
What's going on? I'm scared.
Somehow I was trying to copy something else and we got an extra. No, I don't want to delete. What is this? Stop! Oh my gosh! And I'm in. See, bad DM. Whatever. That was not what I wanted.
Oh, we got double the Aria.
I see that.
We have 2 Ionias now. Fantastic.
What?
Double the Ionia, double the power.
Where's the second Ionia?
It was on stream.
Yeah, it was like really weird. I was trying to just add in the Artemis pool so that everybody could see it. You know, we could be like, yay, Artemis pool. And instead it copied something else. So it just got wonky.
Artemis says you're fantastic, DM.
I want to see Freeze Blast.
That's just because she knows compliments will earn her inspiration, and she has another inspiration.
That's true. Artemis is here to compliment you, so I can make fun of you.
That's it. That's alright, because one day the worm will turn and Artemis will be like, punish him! And I'll be like, yes!
Oh yeah.
And I will.
Art's got a mean streak in her.
Yes! Oh, I live to see it. I'll have to find something beyond inspiration though. Like in some of my games I've actually given, like in our Tiamat game, forced reroll ability where you can actually use it against the enemy to force them to reroll a really good roll. And I might give that to Artemis at some point. Or Roll's dad, or one of our other awesome viewers, because we have so many freaking great viewers. It's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, shout out to you guys.
All right. So, anyways, whose turn was it? You guys distracted me. Lythander, you ran through the room. You dodged in between these undead individuals who are moving slow. Some of them, coming at you. One adjusts its jaw, and you're just like whoop whoop in and out of the room. But you chose to come out this door, so I need you to make a perception roll, please.
Oh, back when I was in the room.
Yes.
Boop.
Yep, perfect spot, because that's exactly where I needed you to be. Take a plot point for that, and then make a perception roll. And for our viewers, if you don't remember plot points the way I work, again, you can adjust their own dice rolls. It's my way of giving the players total control. As a DM, I never have to feel bad when they get horrible rolls, because I have given them the ability to cheat with plot points. So
I'm gonna
if they're
roll
like,
one more time.
bad things happen, it's like adjust it yourself. Go ahead.
Oh my goodness. My luck did not help me. So I'm just going to use 10 plot points here and make that a 15.
Wait, I see a 14 on my screen.
Lysander's still at disadvantage from having a level of exhaustion.
Oh, God bless your soul. Take a plot point for that. And so.
Oh my gosh.
Well, with luck, you
Lysander's
have to take.
struggling today.
But with luck, you have to take the new roll, don't you?
Oh, with luck,
No.
you take the better of the 2 rolls.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yes.
All right. I misremembered that, so my apologies. Take a plot point for helping your DM remember the rules. And so you're going to spend 10 and bump that up to a 15. You actually noticed, specifically you, because you were standing at the door when all the red things were coming at you, the runes flowing through you. You notice with your 15 that runes seem to be flowing out from this one where this dwarf has just come out of. You know, as these various dwarves have come out from these alcoves, runes seem to be flowing through the wall over here, which seemed really weird. Other ones have come up out of the floor and whatnot, but there's a concentrated stream coming this way.
Awesome. I'm going to go check that out.
Okay. You move past the dwarf, and they appear to be coming through seams along the bricks in the wall, making you think, naturally with your penchant for finding things, that possibly if you did an investigation roll, you might find something.
I do love to investigate. All right. An actual
Wow.
roll.
That's it. Very appropriate for Lythander. And as you do, you literally watch the seams and whatnot. You start feeling around. You move your fingers along the edges, and all of a sudden you find a hidden latch. With a quick pull, you move the latch, and the door opens inward, and you see a passageway beyond it. Dun dun dun.
I think Lysander has like 5 feet of movement or something left. I don't know. I stopped keeping track at some point, so I'm just gonna move him in and say that's all he's got.
Okay. I will have to. I don't think I have this map adjusted on the screen so that I can actually show you what's in there. Hang on one second. We're gonna have to. Yeah. All right. Well, first of all, I'm gonna show everybody, the players, the map because they get a chance. The viewers the map.
That way I can see the map.
So, here's the viewers. What she just did was she actually found that this dwarf that had moved out to here. Whoops. Boop. Sorry.
Sean, if it's a sizing problem, you can actually edit the page itself to be bigger units wise.
Yeah, I've really got to play and learn more about Roll20. My problem is my days are pretty full, but I'm starting on 6 weeks of vacation coming up, so.
Nice.
While we move. Yeah. What do you do on vacation other than this? It's like, but I'm actually hoping, because I'm finishing up the Tiamat game, to spend really a lot more time for our viewers here and do more with the maps. So, always willing to learn if you guys want to teach. I don't know how to really edit all that, and I don't want to bore our viewers by watching me screw around with all this. But what I do know is a old DM hack, because I'm old, which is, whoop, you just cheat like that.
Yeah.
I know I have to move all your tokens, so yes, because the DM is cheating. But whoop, I'm doing the best I can.
Whee!
I will, I mean, if obviously if I could make the map bigger and knew how to do that, I would do that, but I don't know how to do that off the top of my head, so I'll move this back, and then I will do the tricky whoop. Let's see, I can do this. Ding! Aha! See? Aren't I wise there? And Benoit, get your butt back over in your room. There you go. See that? And all problems are solved. Just took me that moment longer. And now our viewers can go, oh! That's right. I didn't hear you, viewers. Nobody said, ah. There you go. Everybody dies. So, you come into a room and you realize it's a downward slope. There's a stair there in front of you that leads down into a lower chamber. The runes are incredibly packed, and you notice something different in here. I don't know your background as a rogue, if it's arcane or whatnot, but I do need you to make an Arcana check, please.
Lysander, make an Arcana check. Ha
Yeah.
ha ha ha.
Hey, you might get a nat 20. The 10. Okay. The runes in this room, you notice, are actually stuck on the walls, whereas the other ones have floated out. These ones, other than when you open the door and the rest of them float through you, these ones are glowing continuously in the room. And now that you've entered into this room, I need you to make a Constitution save, please.
Oh boy. So Lysander is dying. Anyways, I will make a new character.
Wolf's dad had us on the
Ah, thank you, Wolf's Dad. You have inspiration. He was listening. Woo! All right. You have, well, I just want to point this out for our viewers and our players. We just went through a whole thing where Artemis literally gave 3 dice into an inspiration pool. The players get tons of plot points. And then Lythander's player, Kitty, chooses to roll without inspiration and then chooses to not adjust it with plot points. You guys make of this whatever you will. No bad DM here. DM has empowered. Viewers have empowered. Players saying, I'm not doing anything with it. Would you like to rethink that decision?
I mean, I already made the decision. Now it just feels bad to.
Well,
DM is offering.
All right, I'm throwing 5 plot points at Kitty. Take it or leave it.
Wait. How about instead I use one of the inspirations?
You would like to rethink that decision and have used an inspiration? I think that might be a good idea.
Okay, I'm gonna use an inspiration first before we adjust anything with plot points.
No, regardless of whatever she gets with the inspiration, take 5 plot points from me.
Dude, I'm good on plot points. I can handle my own way. I'm trying to find my constitution. There it is.
So
and I will adjust it by 2 with my plot points.
So you make it a 15.
Yes.
Okay. With your 15, let me roll as you enter into this room, but you do not have them all passing through you, so you only get a D4. And I got a 3. Please roll 3 hit dice for me. And add that many hit points.
And what many hit points?
You're going to roll 3 hit dice, whatever your hit dice is.
Okay.
3 of them. And you get that many hit points from being in this room from the radiant aura of magic.
10 hit points?
No, these are regular hit points. If you go over your max, whatever that last dice is, will go towards it. So I don't think that's going to put you over your max, though.
That turned out very well.
Isn't that like awesome looking?
It is. That's beautiful.
Said anything that goes over is going into 10.
This is a perfect depiction.
I said if your last dice. So did it go over your maximum?
Yes. So I'll.
Not even a thin one.
So which dice put you over your maximum? The second one?
Yeah.
All right. So whatever was left in that second dice goes over, but the third dice doesn't count.
Okay.
And again, temp hit points are not cumulative. If you already had more than temp hit points, you get no extra. You just get to pick which one's higher. Okay.
I'll be right back. I need to go get some Tylenol, but on my turn, you can just have Ionia will frost blast something again, or unless there's something that like.
I'll hold it till you get back.
Away.
You're fine. I'll just hold it till you get back.
We have two turns anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Claymore, do something amazing, buddy. You have been so patient.
Ready. Okay, so first of all, Barry's Realm of Silence is still up, correct?
Yes.
And it's affecting
Not you.
that guy, right?
Yeah, it's these two Warforged right here that are currently affected.
Cool. All right, so Claymore is going to attack with. Well, actually, before that, bonus action, charge up the battle, the hammer. And I think I have to roll a D4 for that. Two. D4. Oh, not that. Roll that. 1, 2, 4. Okay. Boom. All right. So that's 2 from my. Oh, that takes from the temporary, right?
What do you mean you take from the temporary? For
Because I
inspiration?
just rolled to charge my hammer. and so it takes away 2 hit points from me at this very moment, and then adds hit points.
He's saying, can it take from his temporary hit point?
Yeah.
No, you cannot. It's got to be from you.
Gotcha. All right. Now he attacks. Full swing towards the one obviously in front of me, but aiming for the knee joint, thinking, well, this guy's pretty tall, so let's hit the weak point there. Full swing, both hands.
Okay. Do it up. You have your Warhammer charged up, your magical Warhammer, and you swing out and attack. Ha ha ha! Love it. I'm really laughing at myself, Kitty Doe. I'm realizing when I give you those 3 plot points, I was wrong. But that's so cool. God bless your soul. You're so kind. You rolled a 19 with your battle axe. You better do some damage, buddy. That's a freaking awesome hit.
Also, what I would like is during this, Claymore is, I guess, he wasn't in the circle before, but now he's going into that circle of silence. So Claymore is gonna go say, "Die, you son of a," and then silence.
That's great.
Nice plot point.
Thematic censoring.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. Make it 2 plot points, because that was just freaking funny as all get out. You clicked an attack, not damage.
Yeah, that was my bad. I meant to go on to the battle axe. There we go. And then +2 from the actual extra damage, which makes it 20.
How do you get +12 on your damage?
That's not on his damage. That's on his hit to hit.
Oh, okay. I was like,
Wait,
that's
is it?
just freaking 8 plus 5 plus 5
He's getting
damage.
He's getting a +10 to his damage.
Oh my god. Well, the +5 is his strength, but what's the other +5 from? 3 is...
Where's the other +5 from? Actually.
Could be wrong.
Right? Click the battle axe icon, and that's usually damage, right? If I just click the actual battle axe icon.
You did. So it looks like you put your modifier twice.
Yeah.
So it's a 13 plus your 2.
All right, there you
I
go.
think.
15 then.
Yeah.
So it'd be 8 plus 5, which is 13, right?
Yep.
Plus 2, which is 15. Yep. So cool.
Still a good hit.
That's a solid hit. I just want, I just trying to watch when something jumps out at me and we're like level 4, we're doing like 20-some points of damage. I'm like, it just seems like insane. Not that I don't love watching the players do amazing things, but usually it's a mistake. So cool. And we have such awesome players. You literally hit this thing so hard, you take it off at the knee. You
Nice.
literally bend it over, and the Warforged is forced to make a dexterity save, gets a 2. This Warforged falls over on its side. This Warforged, and do you have anything else that you're doing on your turn? Because I realized I actually skipped all the Warforged in the turn order. So
I guess can I use a free action to pull out my short sword?
absolutely.
As a tool?
So now you want to have a sword in one hand and your Warhammer in the other?
Yep.
You got it, buddy.
It's gonna be great when you block something.
And then jumping back, the Warforged who had stones thrown at them are absolutely rushing over. Luckily, the Claymore attacked the other one right when it was trying to twist away from, because Brock had thrown it actually at those two. And that was what gave you a significant lower AC to dismember its knee. And it follows, moving in slowly in here. And just for the sake of argument, I'm going to give it a little extra distance as it gets in there so that Benoit's held action can go off. Benoit, please make your attack roll on the Warforged to try and trip it up as it comes in faceless looking for you.
Okay. 1 second here.
Just because it's.
Now I can use.
Wow.
I can use. What am I using on this?
What did I? It's an attack. It's a pull. It's a melee attack. Because you chose to use a weapon, your pull. and it's not thrown, so it would just be strength-based melee attack. You just pick your pull damage. Wow, 23 hits. Dude, that's freaking awesome. Roll for damage. Actually, you don't have to roll for damage. You're going for a special attack. Let me give him a dex save. I will allow you to try to outroll me. It's a successful hit. You have advantage. Go ahead and roll I'm just going to go against your number. It's a 23, so never mind. And yeah, you are utterly successful. You trip up its legs, twist it around, and as it turns to try and face you, it falls in, and just as you hoped, except there's no waves. It falls down amidst what you thought were waves of water, and you realize afterwards it's waves of pure energy. And as they grace over your feet, you feel almost like static electricity flow over you. And some of the runes that were swirling around as this Warforged flashes straight down as if falling by gravity. No water to even slow its descent. Some of these runes come out carried on these waves of energy along the watery floor. Barry, take a plot point for the sound effects. Thank you. Yeah, so one Warforged down. I'm going to actually just take him. I'll tag him with an X. So, there you go. No. There you go. Boom. That works.
Yeah, leave him in the pool. He's sinking to the bottom.
Yeah. Well, that way when he climbs out later, I remember where he was. What? Did I say that out loud? Oh, my bad. So I forgot to get over there and show our players what was just happening. So Benoit did make his attack here, as you can see. And he tripped the individual, had a great roll there, because they didn't see your rolls or anything, and got the Warforged to sink in. Cool. That was Benoit's held action. The other Warforged, one was holding Barry. And Barry, since he has you grappled and you have not broken away on your turn, but he never heard the actual attack order, and now it's silenced again. He's still working on the original one, which is dragging you as part of his movement, because you can do that when you have somebody grappled. Mm-hmm. He drags you over towards your friend and shoves you at Claymore, which Claymore's already been fighting and just knocked this thing out, pulled a sword right at you, and then all of a sudden Barry is shoved right into Claymore. Let's roll for a hilarious botch check and see if Claymore stabs you by accident. So I would like Barry to make a dex save and Claymore to make a melee attack at disadvantage as you're taking the lower roll. Barry gets a really bad dex save. Let's see what Claymore's attack is, and you guys can always, of course, adjust.
Yeah.
All right.
16. So it looks like you're about to get impaled from behind.
I'm getting nothing but.
Yeah. Wait, he rolled a 16? Oh, I see. Yeah.
Hold on. The melee is
can I throw plot points even though I know what's there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Then I'll throw 8 plot points at that to make it a 17.
So literally just glancing off as the sword kind of pierces through part of your robe, but you are also released from the grapple, and you are out of silent range. So bonus there. He took care of that for you.
Spells. Nice. Yeah.
So that is the Warforge's turn, and Lythander, you are up, sir.
Awesome. Before I do anything, Wolf's dad also added their plot point to the art bank officialness.
Okay.
Or plot points, the inspiration. Yeah, that thing.
And if somebody has a really cool name for that, I like Artie's inspiration, but that's kind of big for the
I like
stream.
Artie's inspiration.
Inspiration.
Lythander's gonna come on down into this main room.
The
Assuming
plotters.
there's no giant gargoyles ready to attack him.
There are none in here. There are none of the. There are no gargoyles. There are no warforged. There are none of the undead dwarves. The room appears empty, other than the runes here on the walls.
Cool.
And obviously, while our viewers can all see the secret tunnel, and yes, so can our players. That's because I don't have anything on. I would like you to make a perception roll as you come down the stairs, please.
Bump, 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 bump.
All right,
that's
and now I'll just
persuasion.
leave that for the rest of the music for
Perception.
the entire.
Oh no, I still have mine without this.
Are you good with the 17?
No, I gotta roll again because I took my thing off of disadvantage, but there we go.
15.
Beautiful. you hear the sound of water to the south. And you realize it's the first time you've heard water since you came through when you fell through that squeezing sensation as you fell into that first staircase.
Huh.
So you've moved down on your turn, you hear the sound of water, and you're feeling healthier in this room. What do you want to do?
How many plot points for these runes to be painted on the walls?
Ooh, you can have a plot point just for using plot points in the way that I've originally described, which few players do. You know what? Nice and cheap. 5 plot points.
Cool, I'll spend 5 plot points for these things to be painted on the walls. And since I'm pretty sure that this dude is using them to raise everything up, Lysander's gonna go over to the wall and start trying to chip away at it with his knife.
It's actually quite easy because they're painted on. You start scraping at the glowing, and as you do, the paint just comes off. And as it falls, the paint actually turns to dust and vanishes. And you realize you can scrape these easy. You don't even have to chip the wall. It only takes seconds for you to start scraping them off. And I don't know if like a scratch off, you're just trying to put a line through it, or if you're trying to
he's
get the whole thing
just gonna run along the wall here and just start putting a line through all the runes.
As you do, you realize it doesn't take much. You can't just scrape one little bit. You do have to scrape a little bit, but you don't have to remove the whole rune, and they stop glowing.
Wonderful.
And as you do start doing all this, you hear... It sounds almost like a high-pitched cry, something in the distance. A squealing, something being stuck, a pig being stuck. I don't know. It's high-pitched and it's in the distance.
Lysander cares not for the cries of pain of evildoers. He keeps going.
Okay. Is that it for your turn while you're doing all that? Okay. Claymore.
And I will be back.
Okay. You are up, Claymore.
All right. So I guess Claymore would like to continue on his beautiful, beautiful rampage. And let's see. Once again, attacking the nearest one in front of me again. He's still on the ground, correct?
Yeah. Yes. The
Down.
one upside down that you knocked the leg off of. Yeah, he'll
Right.
have... he's kind of rolling around like Ed 209 and RoboCop trying to get himself back up. He's not good.
Wonderful. I would like to slam down on the head of this thing with my hammer.
Oh, dude, you have advantage on the attack.
Awesome.
19.
You hit, and no perception roll needed. Your hammer actually passes right through the veil into the helmet, smashes right down against the ground with this radical light bursting out, and you notice something. Something gushes out from inside around the veil, like you had just popped a zip. All this pus flows out everywhere, and immediately it stops moving.
Oh.
Does it get anywhere on Claymore? All this pus?
If you wanted to, absolutely.
Claymore
role
would like
playing.
for like some pus to get on his shoulder and for him to just be like, "Grr, yes."
Oh!
Straight battle mode.
There. No, not there. Too bad. There you go. That way you can be at the front. You have definitely gone full battle mode on this guy, buddy. You have crushed him. Victory is yours.
Can I also what's it called? Bonus action, recharge the hammer.
Yes, and I'm gonna have to take 2 turns for Clapton. I forgot him last turn, and it's of course important to you guys.
So roll 1d4. Oh jeez, what did I do here?
We're doing roll /1d4 rather than /roll 1d4.
Oopsies, my bad.
You can also just flank it with double brackets on either side.
Dude, listen to him. He's like a roll 20 master. Take a
Okay.
plot point for that. I love when people help other people to do well.
Oh. Oh.
That's like my thing, man. It's my jam.
It is.
Some of the cameras are not labeled correctly.
What?
They've played musical
Claymore,
chairs.
light that. Oh, that's because everybody was logging in and off. Yes. Whoever said that gets. I don't know. I don't want to give out.
Goddess Artemis pointed it out.
Just leave it. We expect this from Artemis.
You know, I know we always joked about like, oh, it's not a Relics of War stream without tech difficulties, but like, I like tech difficulties because the tech difficulties happen. Artemis points them out. Artemis gets inspiration. We get inspiration. Things can keep going wrong in my book.
There's a phrase if you watch football called 12th man, and it represents the crowd that is there cheering for the team. And the Bills made it popular going back almost 30 years ago because they said we can never show up to play without our 12th man. It's what took the Bills to the Super Bowl, they said. And so it became very, very popular. And honestly, our stream viewers are our 12th man. They're freaking awesome. I think I've got them correct now.
Okay to me.
But I'm going to give Artie that inspiration. No, you know what? Artie's been over the top tonight. Artie needs something beyond. And Wolfsdad's been really chiming in. So I want to give two things. I'm going to give Wolfsdad an inspiration because I'm looking over and seeing that. Artie, you have a golden crit that you may give somebody. Golden crit is worth 20 plot points. It is an instant natural 20. So literally, and I know there's a little bit of a time delay, so I'll always be a little bit graceful here. But if you see something happen in the stream and you want somebody to have just rolled a nat 20, you just type it in really quick, say golden crit that. And we'll of course get the results here, I don't know, probably about 10 seconds after, but we'll figure it out. I'll do minor retcons for that.
I see on the stream that art equals 3 still, but Wolfsdad had added his inspiration to that pool as well, so it should have gone up to 4.
Well,
unless somebody used
one was used.
Gone.
One was used.
Was one used?
And it went down to 2, and then I added Wolfsdad's in, and it brought it back.
I was away, so I was just trying to help.
It was huge help. Thanks. Cool. So where are we at? I kind of got off with making answers.
Clavson's double moves.
Who double moved?
You get Clavton to have a double move.
Thank you. Plot point for that. Yes. Clavton, who I missed out on last time, was incredibly frustrated because somebody is silencing him, and he has a pretty darn good idea who, because he heard you chanting the spell before everything went silent.
Can we just get a giant neon sign and put it above Barry that says "It's me" with like 2 arrows pointing down at Barry?
Hey,
and
is in the way between me and him right now, kind of.
And it's a Warforged laying on the ground. It just had its head popped like a zit.
It's true.
Benoit gets Clavton's attention and goes like this. It's Barry.
Dad would like to add his new inspiration to the pool.
Oh, okay.
We have very generous viewers that allow us to divvy up our own inspiration.
They're going to turn sour eventually. They're going to be like, Sean, every inspiration now goes to you. You can just keep giving yourself inspiration.
Yeah. If I ever do that, those rolls will actually be in the chat. That way, it's like I usually roll behind the screen. I actually have a dice camera that I use too, just because I think it's fun for the viewers to see the dice roll sometimes. But we've been having so many trouble with the cameras, I haven't been able to do it here. Anyway, so Clavton,
you can replace me with it when I'm not.
It was in the silent mode. Moved to here. Was still in the silent mode and moved a little further, but because he took that time in between, I'm not giving him an action for that first move. So on his second move, he moves further, comes down out of the silent mode, but this time I'm going to give him a roll because I want to put him on the offensive, but the spell is a priority. In fact, you know what? No, I'm going to keep the spell as his priority. He does not need to move near you. He's actually going to move towards the back of the room because he actually knows the range of spells. And he begins continuing his spell. Oh, actually, he can't. So he has to cast a spell magic again. So he casts a spell magic, removes it, and then use part of his thing to get back onto his podium and begins reading once again. So that's both moves all together. You saw him move around, cast a spell magic, gets back, and starts continuing his spell again. 3 times might be the charm, Barry.
I mean, I'm wasting. This clearly is the most powerful person in the room, and I'm burning his actions every time. This
All
guy
right.
actually burnt 2 actions.
And then Ionia, you're back, so take your turn.
Hey, how far away from Clapton am I? That's
10, 20,
I don't
30
know how to
feet.
measure that. 30 feet. Okay, excellent.
Squares
So,
are 5 feet, so.
If as he's reading, does he have like a moving mouth, or we're just
You know,
kinda
it's just a
emanating
blue
from
glow
him?
like you see in the picture there. You've never been able to see the face of whatever this is.
It's another zit.
Stop it! Oh, that's so gross.
If you'd like a little
Pustule,
zit
if
cream,
you would.
Claymore has some on him.
You want some?
Nope.
It
Not
looks
at
like
all.
feta cheese.
Oh, I like feta cheese. Why would you do that? Don't ruin feta cheese.
Nah, it would be more like blue cheese.
Well,
so that's where
in,
the glow comes
in
from.
reality, while
Also
it
like blue
exploded
cheese.
like, in reality, my description was it exploded like a zit. The context, the color of it is actually this off grayish pink type stuff. It's not white at all.
Wolf's dad even said gross.
Oh, it
Yeah.
yeah.
No, yeah, he's got my back on this one. I'm not alone. This is disgusting. Thank you. I'm gonna frostbite the dude's face.
Nothing will clean your pores better than this stuff.
Stop! I'm frostbiting his face in hopes that like if he has a moving mouth, maybe I'll like be freezing his jaw
So
up a little bit.
All right.
But,
So
like,
that's just a con save.
DC 15,
What's your range on that spell?
60 feet.
Oh, so you're fine.
Yeah, I am.
Fails the con save. How much damage?
6 damage, and I'm putting ice on his face. I'm gonna try and be getting this going.
The force of your ice goes straight in and whatnot, and you notice that he doesn't even seem to be phased in the slightest by it.
That's fine. Just wait till I've done it for several minutes, buddy. You'll be dealing with frostbite. You'll lose a nose.
Yeah. One of the things you do notice as a freebie is the cloak around where the blue energy is coming out. The cloak around it starts to turn white, as if your ice is having an effect on that. Yet the voice continues.
Fine. You, me. Next round, buddy.
Proactive.
I like this.
One.
And
I just
again,
needed
now
a short
all of
rest.
you have noticed what Ionia noticed earlier, which is that the shaking has grown to a smoothness, a smooth rumbling almost.
The cameras are also off on this
Yeah,
screen
I'm-
when we're
I'm
not
Kitty-
looking at the
I'm
map.
Kitty again.
What do you mean?
Yep.
Oh.
The cameras are the
You need to
musical
swap
chairs.
me and Kitty. Or just don't care and keep playing.
Oh, how can they be off again? Nothing has changed.
Because you changed the different screens from the map viewing with Roll20 to the other screen where we don't see Roll20, and those are 2 different screens. They have 2 different layouts, and they're pulling from different areas, apparently.
I'm just wondering how the heck these things moved. They were all great at the start of the stream.
That's true.
I'm like-
Because as with many great things like toys and whatnot, when you stop looking at them, they get up and move. I believe Toy Story should have taught us all this lesson.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Right.
just. And thank you to whoever did that for us. Boom. I'm gonna start letting them give
Once
out plot
again,
points.
Goddess Artemis, who notices everything. Nothing shall get past
Being.
her perception.
Cool. So
Welcome back,
that's
Kitty.
fixed now.
Thank you.
You were temporarily not Kitty. Kitty was never really gone, I don't think.
Whose turn is it? Is it Ionia's turn, or did Ionia
No,
just finish?
Ionia just froze his face, and it fell off, and he died, and we won.
Oh my gosh! And then you woke up, and you're like, "What knocked
And I
me
woke
out?"
up
And you realize it was
in the
actually,
surface, in my bed in the end, and I'm not below the water.
Actually,
and it was
your cat
actually
character
Claymore
woke
that
up.
is on top of you, and you're like realizing you're fading in and out.
Oh,
Benoit, what are you
damn.
doing?
Well, after he knocked the one Warforged into the pit and saw him sinking to the bottom, Benoit turned and exited the room. And
Beautiful.
as soon as he stepped out, he reassessed the situation.
And you realize one Warforged has been taken down. The other Warforged does not appear to be acting aggressively. It has taken the spear from off its back and is literally just holding it like a brace to keep Barry and Claymore at a distance, having still not received the kill order.
Okay. I can see the ice going and hitting this guy in the face. Is that something I can see?
Oh yeah, there's a stream of white shooting right from Ionia straight into that guy up there who is chanting and continuing to read the giant names.
Does it look like he may be impaired visually from this stream of ice?
Yeah, how could anything? I mean, you got a freaking tornado of frost going at you. Oh yeah, you
Okay.
should be able to see through
Then
that.
Benoit is going to charge in with his staff, the point of his staff leveled right at this glowing blue area.
All right, you gotta remember this is a giant, and the giant is standing on top of a podium, so his head is probably about 30 feet in the air. You ain't reaching.
Okay. Benoit is doing a flying leap through the air and thrusting this like a spear tip right into the blue area.
5e rules, you're allowed to jump up to your height. I think it's like half your height on its own. If you have a running start, you get more distance and whatnot. So you actually get quite a few feet off the ground. You get some massive air, and then you chuck this. Go ahead and make a dexterity-based ranged attack with an improvised weapon.
I don't know how to do all that.
Just go ahead and just roll dexterity for me. And I actually think when we went over this is not an improvised weapon. This is actually your monk weapon, if I remember.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Yeah, so he should get... Is he proficient with it? Because then
he
should get
is, because it's his monk weapon. He chose this as. 5e rules, a monk may choose a weapon of their own to be a monk weapon, as long as it fits the standard parameters.
Okay, that means he gets proficiency bonus.
Yep. So 14 plus your proficiency bonus, which is a 3, makes it a 17. Roll for damage for me. As you throw out this spear, and as you do, for those of you watching, his pole extends out to be 10 feet long as he thrusts it like a lance right into this thing. As he does, the pole strikes into it, and the head gets knocked back somewhat. And for the first time, the cloak comes off, and you see underneath it the same type of brass metal as these other Warforged that are here. Only this is huge. And you realize, Claymore especially, you're looking at a juggernaut of a Warforged. You've seen one or two large ones during the war, and this is absolutely one of them. Now, the glowing blue, which hangs down almost like the veil that you see on the other ones, goes back to continue reading. The pole still sticking out, just like many Warforged, yourself included, undaunted by a wound the way a human or other living creature would be. It goes right back to reading.
Does Claymore, seeing as that Claymore has experienced these guys before, does he have any information on weakness, like weak points or anything that would be useful?
Yes. Speaking strictly as a Warforged, you understand that pain exists, but all your senses are dulled, so pain doesn't affect any Warforged like it does the living creatures. And again, you're living, but I think you understand the difference. The biological creatures, there you go. Your little biological cousins are affected far more by pain and sensations than Warforged. And the more mechanical the creature, which these ones appear to be, the less sensations they have. Therefore, the only thing that seems to affect them, is what you did to that other one. Find joints and dismember them, damage things, jam things up. Literally, and it's what makes Warforged such an awesome force. They aren't affected by pain. They aren't affected by fear in the same way. They are literally something that must be stopped by force.
Is that cog in the back of his neck turning?
Make a perception roll. And you could have a plot point for just asking the question.
Perception. 14.
You notice not that the cog is turning, but that the spears, when he moved, actually extended outward and then came back in. So you know part of that is on his back appears to be moving. Further, you know, I'll even give you further because that was a 14. Further, something under his cloak, the whole robe that he's wearing moved. Not like a human, not like something different. Something mechanical moved under there. And I guess that'll actually be as good a place as anywhere to end it for tonight with Benoit's attack. We'll just have to remember to pick it up with Barry next week because I want to honor our viewers. We do broadcast from 9 to 11. You have now figured out, you have been able to delay Caravat from finishing the Rising spell, at least for the moment. You've also been able to take out some of the Warforged. We know that Lythander has discovered a secret room, started to damage the spell from the rear, and now you know that Caravat isn't actually a living being at all, but is another Warforged juggernaut, giant sized.
You mean Clapton?
What? Who did I say?
Caravat.
Sorry. Yes, Clapton.
Who's Caravat?
Never mind.
That's the person
Who's Caravat?
You heard nothing. You've seen nothing.
Clapton is who's raising. I think this is actually Caravat. We just kind of
nice meta knowledge.
Clapton.
Very good. You can have a plot point for being very good meta knowledge. Yes.
I remember you saying earlier that we assigned him the name Clapton, so the whole time I was like, he's not Clapton. I don't know who he is. He's probably raising Clapton.
Yeah, there's been
because
3
you were
times
told.
you mentioned that.
Yep, you were told to release Clapton. That's who you came in for.
And now we're stopping the release of Clapton, and then we're all gonna drown at the bottom of the ocean.
And then you guys, you know,
Wouldn't be the first time.
I'm not ready for this.
wonderful. Well, I want to thank everybody for being here with us tonight. This was an absolute blast. I want to thank the 12th man. You guys were freaking awesome tonight. I hope you guys had as much fun as we did. You know, again, we're just a family table. We have a good time. But when you come here, you're part of the family. So, you know, whenever you come, bring a drink, bring your snacks, play along with us. Again, we will always engage you in every way. We do this on Discord. We have fun together. Final wrap up, anything coming up in any of your weeks? And we're going to start with Aria. Let the lady start us off.
I have an orthodontist appointment tomorrow morning to get I'm finally getting the bottom braces on. For anyone who didn't know, I have braces. I'm finally getting the bottom braces on, and hopefully they'll be getting a bracket onto the one tooth up on the top that was too far in for them to get a bracket on the first time. They had to put springs in to push the teeth around it apart. So that'll be interesting. That's a good way to spend my morning tomorrow. I like going to the dentist, and I like people messing around in my mouth, and I like sarcasm. The rest of the week should all be uphill from there. More job stuff, and you know, just kind of maybe play some World of Warcraft or something. But the rest of the week will be bright compared to tomorrow morning. What about you, Kitty Doe?
Again, this upcoming Wednesday, I have another video uploading onto my YouTube channel. It is scheduled, so much excitement there. Otherwise, I'm going to continue working on my next big storytime animation. Take it away, Benoit.
Oh, okay. What do I have going on this week? School's finally over, so for the next 3 days, I just get time to myself.
Oh, God bless. Woohoo!
Also, I'm dropping Kitty Does YouTube in the Twitch chat.
Well, we didn't actually have finals. They're going to wait until the middle of July when we actually get to go back in and do our labs. That's when we're going to have our finals. So, as of right now, I'm sitting with 95% in both classes. So,
not too concerned.
Good
Well
to go.
done.
Not too concerned. As long as I don't blow my labs, we'll be okay. Other than that, we're just continuing to box up items in the house, getting ready for the move. We've been hearing good news on all of our roadblocks, so hopefully maybe within the next 8 to 12 weeks now, maybe we'll be into the new house. We'll see. That's about it on this end. Pass it off to Harry.
Woo! So, yeah, pretty much this week I got work, but I love what I do, so it's going to be fun. Other than that, I'm probably just going to be doing things with my car. I absolutely love working on my car, and I try to make it every week. I have something new that I can do to it, so I'm pretty excited to, I don't know, figure out what I'm going to do. But yeah, that's pretty much what's going on for me. How about you, Alex?
Well, I actually have something that I'm pretty hyped for coming up soon. I'm right in the midst of writing a campaign for a new RPG system called Liberty After, inspired by the Liberty podcast. This really awesome podcast about this sci-fi world, and they were cool enough to actually turn that into its own RPG and then incorporate some of the aspects of that RPG from the canon. I actually have talked to one of the creators, Travis Vengraff, back and forth through some Patreon messages and stuff like that. He's actually a really awesome guy. Gave me some source material way back when I originally had a very small campaign for this, and I'm actually going to incorporate a lot more of that in, so I'm really interested to see where it goes. If you guys are interested in that, or have listened to the Liberty podcast, track me down on Discord, hit me up, and I will word vomit at you all day long. But yeah, it's really cool. It's inspired by D&D 5e, so it's really easy to pick up, and it's one of the most interesting worlds I've ever been in. So, nice.
Wow, very cool. Speaking of worlds, I'll take it over from there, because one of the things that all of our viewers are going to notice is that there's going to be a slow migration. I already chatted with the players. I was feeling a little constricted by Ebberon, so again, the reason I chose to run an Ebberon game when I was asked to by DGG was because it was so darn close to my own world. But I'm really feeling kind of constricted trying to memorize Keith's world. So what I'm actually going to do is we're transitioning back to my world. So you'll hear references that are totally non-Ebberon, and we're just converting and switching over, and all the players were good with that. That way I can just have more fun and they can just explore it. And you guys will have, as viewers, a chance to watch something new. One of the things that I'm excited for all our viewers is we got solo adventures coming up. You heard Benoit talk about a little more time. I've asked Barry and others. They have so much backstory they want to do that we're going to be putting that up. And I do have a YouTube channel and whatnot that we're going to be putting up for Plot Points, starting to put up our own videos. Again, we're taking it to the next level for all of you because we're having fun together, and we want you to have fun with it as well. On my personal level, I'm going to be moving here coming up. We talked about 6 weeks of vacation and whatnot. We don't know where yet. We're looking for, we've been listening to God. I'm kind of waiting for a call to a new church, and we got some churches that are interested. They follow us online. I do daily devotions and other stuff. You can always hit me up, Motorcycle Pastor, if you're into just Christian devotions and hearing about biker ministry. That's kind of what I do. I'm going to get up some new graphics based on that inspiration that Artie and Wolf were doing tonight. That was pretty awesome. And I do need to get Kitty Doe your graphics in at the end. Other than that, this has been a blast. You guys made this awesome. Thank you. Everybody wave goodbye. We'll see you next week, and I'll go through the closing out. Let's see. What do I got here? Plot points closing. Here we go. Yeah, so hey, DGG is coming up. There is another DGG game popping up soon. I'm going to actually leave the audio running because they got that cool music happening. So Heroes of Thylia. Tune in tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Corey will be running that one, Erudi. Giving you an awesome game. I also invite you, even though my logo is kind of messed up here. Look, let me stretch that back out. Whoop, there we go. Plot Points logo. Thanks, Kitty Doe, for fixing that up for us a little bit. Follow us on Discord. Come on over. Enjoy the chat. We chat all week long, and that way you can inspire the players, and hopefully then when you come to game time, they can inspire you as well. Thanks all for being here tonight. I look forward to seeing you next Monday night. You all give me something to look forward to, and I hope that we, as a gaming table, give you the same. God bless you one and all. We'll see you next Monday night. Same bat time, same bat channel, 9 o'clock. See ya.
Yeah.
And now it's just winding down. They're all listening to me because they got that cool music. I'm not turning that off. And we are out.